Welcome to it. How are you doing? This is the first exciting episode of the Undiluted Sports Podcast. My name is Bugsy Zimandola the Kid.
I'm Abishai Nchimunyamwetwa.
Abishai Nchimunyamwetwa, it's in the name, Shy. How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Good. I'm feeling really good about this. We are finally here. We've been talking about this podcast for a long time.
Yeah.
We're finally here.
How many years?
Yes, I think almost 2 years in the making. It was just a story, but now we're finally here. First of all, why did we start this podcast conversation? Actually,
you remember that time when I was telling you my story,
yes,
like what really happened,
yes,
when we were on the beach, in the dressing room, the funny stories, and then you're like, hey, my man, we need to put this into something. Mm-hmm. People need to know the stories, they need to hear them. And then here we are today, starting to tell our stories.
The stories.
Yeah, they need to know about my coach. I'm a guy is my passion. Then you see. Yeah, so.
There's stories.
Yeah.
So that's where it all began.
Yeah.
And the idea of Undiluted Sports Podcast is to, like in the name, it's undiluted. We're not just focusing on the player on the pitch and that's it. Because over to Aisha no and whatnot. Pa pitch. But then undiluted sports. Sport is not just football.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
True.
We have so many sports disciplines in Zambia.
Yeah. Like the muzalas of this world.
Yes.
People need to know the behind the scenes, what really goes on in their heads, in their minds when they're about to go on the track. You know, like how does he prepare himself to be on the track? Is he ready to compete? Is he not ready? Is he injured? And what does he do when he's injured?
Absolutely.
So these are stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, these are stories that we've been discussing, and now today we want to bring it out. People need to know. When someone is talking about when I'm there, Nisham there,
my mind is not there when I'm there.
Yeah, and so you get to hear this guy who has excelled in his profession, but because of the nature of his upbringing, and then you expect him to speak certain kind of English. In Kopala, you know, that each song that but you hear this guy saying, my mind is there, but when I'm not there and stuff like that. But when you really get to what he's saying, there's a lot of sense.
There's depth, yes.
There's depth. As muchalo kwisa museko muntu. Yeah, but you're not even trying to listen what he's trying to say. What is he trying to communicate? Mm-hmm. So if I'm a bowler, you know how it is. I'm a bowler, so people need to know these things. Yeah.
So that's pretty much the gist of Undiluted Sports Podcast. We'll be talking about the intricacies, everything behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on the pitch, off the pitch, everything about a player, be it football, baseball, basketball, boxing, because there's so much that goes on that we don't know and we don't understand. And we'll get to that. I want to start with you, though. I want to put you on the spot today.
I'm part of you.
I know, but you're part of me, but you're part of the bigger picture of Zambian football. Yeah. Because obviously that's our staple in Zambian football.
Yeah,
and
true.
you've been in the game for a while. You played in the national team, and then you've played in the clubs, different clubs, big clubs, and then you played in clubs outside, overseas. Yeah. So you have that vast experience. So you have so much that we can unpack.
Yeah.
That I would really like to start with.
Yeah. So
your story, though. Who is Nchimunyamwetwa? First of all, I'll be shy.
Yeah.
And don't be shy. I be shy.
Yeah. So Abishai Nchimunyamwetwa is southern province guy, southern province where the Tongas come from. So that's where I come from, and I'm the third born son of Mr. Newton McKay. You know the man.
Yeah.
So and then we are four in my family, and thank God we are all still alive, and my parents are still alive. They're back in the Kopala. So now I don't know if I'm still Tonga or Lozi or I'm a Kopala guy. I don't even know who I am. Yeah, but one thing that everyone should know is that I'm a Zambian. At the end of the day, I'm a Zambian. Yeah, and we've grown up together.
Yes, absolutely.
In North Rise, seeing the beautiful roads of North Rise, not so good
anymore.
now,
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, but I played my football there in Zambia complex, and most of the guys, the older guys who used to play with me, they would tell me that I was that good, but I never thought that I was that good to go overseas. Yeah, but every day when I was playing in the woods at school, you remember at school? So and dollar basic. So just things started moving. Things started moving. I went to Choma at Skalongo High School, where my football was nurtured. So it became more like a nursery, because they really thought about the player, the football player, back in Choma at Skalongo Mission, and we trained like it was a football club, like an academy, and so that's how my football was nurtured. Then started going to play for clubs. Whilst at school, they would come and pick me and the other guys from school on a Thursday or Friday, and then would go and play over the weekend, back on Monday. And then tuma class because we were going to play over the weekend, and then you're coming back from the weekend on Tuesday or Monday. So missed quite a lot when it comes to school. Yeah. So, but I thank God that all went well. We went to play for Medical Stars, Kabevia, Ndola United, Napsa Stars in Zambia, Sesco United, one of the biggest teams. And your support.
Come on now, Zaga.
Because of me, I know that.
Of course.
And then Chingalika made me strong, made me to be a very good player, and then the national team called, man.
Okay.
Yeah, the national team called.
It was quite a journey. I remember, like when you threw us back at Pape, when you went to school, Skalongo.
Yeah.
I remember that was the time you came back, and I started telling Pape, yeah, how is he this tall now? And it became routine. I could tell, okay, he's in the game now. So everybody could tell your passion.
Yeah.
That's where your nickname Drogba came in.
Yeah.
So first, who called you Drogba first?
And that one, Shishi, because I had long hair. Remember, Ngoza, our sister, your sister, she used to plait my hair. So because Drogba had long hair as well, and then I used to bully defenders on the pitch, just like the dude. So I just had stands, people calling me Drogba whenever I was on the pitch, and then it became my nickname.
And it stuck.
And it stuck up to now.
Yes.
People still call me Drogba. And then, but when I went to Europe, they shortened it. Instead of Drogba, they started calling me Drog. So I became Drog.
Okay.
Yeah. So it stuck with me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, football, man, football. Football especially has so many facets that, we haven't really established or come to the conclusion of. First off, let's talk about I remember when you started playing in clubs, when you were picked in the club to start playing in clubs, I remember you were commuting a lot between Ndola, Kitwe, and whatnot. Because you were excelling at such a good pace. There was word, because it was around that time, Dad, your father, our dad, started getting sick.
Yeah.
So there was word that was put out saying, "Atwalibika fiash kumti, fiatwala kubola." First, so how true is it that Mwali Wogoloshi kubola? And how did you address this issue at Wabika fiashi kubola?
Yeah. So
because that was a very difficult time. Dad was really sick.
Yeah.
And then you were excelling. You were doing your best. I would escort you to go. I remember I'd escort you to go training, and you'd still have high spirits. Yes, when we were walking there, we're talking and whatnot. Yeah, we're discussing those real issues. But the moment you hit the pitch, it's like you are just in your own world. You give it your all and whatnot.
yeah.
Like, okay. So now thinking back, is there any truth at Mwari Wogoloshi Mulibola, and how did you address this issue?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm a religious person. You know. Yeah, I believe in God. You see that? You are Catholic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, so yes, Ubulo Shekobwa, Wanga charms, they're there in sport, but it's what you believe in.
Right.
Yeah, what you believe in is what works for you. Yeah, so word came out, that I put my dad, sacrificed my dad, Kulibola, so that I can become good, because most of the people couldn't understand how I was excelling when I had so many issues at home. You remember how when I come to a place in my not so good state, and then you would even prepare tobamutu, you know? Yeah, but it was a difficult moment. You've been there. Yeah, you were there with me. Yeah, it was very difficult, but when I went on the pitch, you could see that this guy is now a different person. So the pitch was my safe space. So all my issues, my challenges, my difficulties, hardships, I would channel that into the ball and make sure that all the anger, I leave it on the pitch. So I used to bring it out on the pitch. That's why, if you remember at Kwacha Center, when we used to train from, I would sometimes dribble the whole entire defense. So it was the anger in me from home that I was releasing on the pitch. And football, I tell you, it really provided that space for me, the safe environment. Like you English guys, you say the safe haven. It was a safe haven for me. And so when I heard that, I become a wish football, and word went around, you know how it was that time in Dollar. And that was a time, if you had Dubai came, I think it was that same period. So, but for me, it didn't really affect me, you know, because if we talk with them, you know what I mean? Corporal punishment from home. Dad would hit you, you know, cooking stick, horse pipe. So, you know, that really made us strong. You know, it really made us strong. Gatapali, kachike, nikoje Filippo, wasenda kachibwabwa in the garden there, you know. So the greenies, the mangoes, they made us to be strong. So I had this sort of a shield that any negative word wouldn't come near, you know. So the shield used to protect me because of my upbringing. And it was good, you know. I come to your place, mom, we pass your mom. You come to my place, dad will beat us. So it is what has made us to be strong, you know. So it really helped me, and it never affected me. I remember laughing about it. So Now you see. But look at the man where he is today. He's okay. He's at home. We all at some point fall ill, so it was his time to get ill, but he recovered. And now he's enjoying his son speaking English. Because they really wanted me to get an education, so today we're speaking English, and he's happy. And all the time he calls me. Even when I want to write some things, he's the one who writes most of the things, my things. So, boy,
Right. Let's do it first, and then I have so many questions. So many other questions.
Golf view. We've got nice cookies there. I'm a cookies or mama feed.
Maskono. Shout out to Mkango Golf View.
For reservations at Mkango Golf View Hotel, call 0211-290-770 or 0979-727-715. You can also email res@golfview-hotels.com. Visit our website on www.golfview-hotels.com. You can also find us on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as football age and real age in football?
Yeah.
Really?
It's there.
So it is there.
Yeah, football age is you cut your age by your looks.
By your looks.
And by the tournament that is coming ahead, and then also you looking at what you want to achieve. And then sadly, it's gone even to our parents. Yeah, because you find that umwana sakula afika kutimbi pali 20 years.
Yes.
So the parents number, I know this guy needs a passport. Number, we want our child to play for the U17, maybe U20. So the parents would talk to the coaches, sometimes even the powers, the authorities that lead, like the FA.
Yeah.
So for anadawa abayama titwa wish according 4 years but
Yes.
so we can maybe reduce by 4 years, 3 years, something like that. So in Yakashambola, the parents are also involved, the player himself is involved, the federations, associations, they're also involved. Yeah, but right now, in the Papa Sport, I'm 41 years, I was celebrating my years.
So the birthday you celebrate, like the one you celebrated, is it the football age or the real age?
My passport is 41. My passport age.
We were celebrating a passport age. And the real age? Yes. Yes.
Now my sister Lulu.
Yes.
So but my official age is 41.
41.
Yeah.
That's
Papa
the
passport.
Papa passport.
That's what is there.
That's the one we were celebrating.
Yes.
So we'll hear about that. So who helped you tune your age? Were the parents aware either? Exactly. Because I don't think they would have allowed you. Exactly. So who necessitated it?
My passport, my first passport. I didn't say you can have a passport. Yeah. But I'm 41. Yeah.
Emphasis. He's 41, guys.
Yeah, but Kylie, you know how it is. I preach against cheating now. It's a vice that has really killed our sport to progress, especially in Africa.
In Africa, yeah.
You find that at junior level, U17, U20, even the World Cup we've won as Africa.
Yeah.
But no age restriction. We fell short because at U17 we are using overaged players.
Yes.
At U20 we are using overaged players.
Yes.
So now no age restriction.
Right age there. Yes.
So you find our 20-year-old Papassport, going to meet actual 20-year-olds Paria level, but in Shifwe bali muri 40.
Yes, so if we're
So they're tired.
because
Yes.
so
So
we're
they're
being
tired.
outran.
Yeah. So that's why you find if an upcoming player, Chika in the next 2 years.
Yes.
You are waiting for the upcoming player to now Kalipa.
Yeah.
But you find this guy is old.
Yes.
Now you're supposed to be playing. Because if you are 20 years, 2 years ago, you should be 22.
Yes. Yeah.
But you find that this guy, in the actual sense, number, imyaka shapa mutoto. Shasa pundati yama muli 28.
Relax.
You are 32, you are 34, so you are tired. You need to retire. So you find that that's what is killing our football. But we've made a lot of strides to stop it. Yeah, and most players now, you find that Costa reduce ni 1 or 2 years. From the 5 years, 10 years, to 2 years. So they need to reduce even further to 1 year, 2 months until
now you can use the proper age for the proper.
Yes, because we want to win the World Cup as Africa, we want to win the World Cup as Zambia, and then we are also preaching about integrity because that also falls under integrity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the age thing, is it just in Zambia or it's the whole continent of Africa?
God good. You find Wakucharu Kumbi Africa.
Cameroon, you are in.
Yeah, so it's very sad. But umuntu aliko kutia bola. Alishta celebrate Golden Jubilee, which is 50 years. Ero basamupendera kusasanga tawe iwe ishambola watubiri ati apa walekere ufire nobody for day. How come you are celebrating Jubilee? Golden Jubilee.
Yeah.
How come? So where has the other 10 years come from?
So there have been situations where Waikatako Munduat they fix never.
Yeah.
And what happens to their accolades?
No, Balapoka.
Okay.
Yeah, they strip you off. You on some medals who are winning because you were cheating. And then others have been fined. Yeah. So because you know that it's a criminal offense. It's a criminal offense.
Yeah, because
Muli forgery,
Yes.
Muli identity theft.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a criminal offense. So that's why I want to affirm the sad part about it. Yeah. So, but I'm 41 years for passport.
For passport, you're 41 years old.
Yes.
But
TF to conquer.
all right. So you fine-tuned your. At what point did you tune your years? Was it when you were about to? Was it?
I am 41.
Okay. But at the time you were turning that age, that ripe age to now get your passport to go to play.
So I'll tell you this story. I was overaged. Then they wanted me to play for the under 20.
Right.
Yeah, the under 20. The coach was Ona Jams.
Right.
And then that was I think in 9 years or sometime, we never had any trophy coming to Zambia. So Janza was the under 20 national team coach.
Right.
So they wanted me to play, and Janza really wanted me to play for the under 20.
Right.
So upon knowing that I was overaged that time, he's the one who said, why should we get an overaged player? If he's above 20, we are going for a tournament which is U20.
Yeah.
So U20 is below under 20, 20, yeah. If he's overaged, then he's eligible to play for the senior team.
Yeah.
So why should he go to senior team?
Senior team.
Yeah, in Ekono, Abambepa Kade Shaish was not there.
Right.
But since you've told me that he's overaged, I don't want to have a player who's overaged. That was just.
All right.
And he's the one who said, "Mtwale senior team." And senior team, I went there. And now Stephen English, was the coach by then. I went to national team.
Mgango Gulf View Hotel is a 3-star hotel located in the serene area of Lusaka's Munali area along Great East Road. We offer events and conference center facilities with 10 conference facilities and 78 accommodation rooms with 4 room types. We also boast 5 3-bedroom apartments. Mgango Gulf View is an eco-friendly hotel powered entirely by solar energy, offering a sustainable and environmentally conscious experience for guests.
You're the striker. You're a striker in the national team. You're playing, you're scoring. What was going through? How was it? How was the pressure
Boy,
going in the national team now, knowing that this is what I've been dreaming about. I'm here now.
just donning the national team, yes.
Yeah.
My friend, that's the biggest achievement.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
So it's something that every player should be proud of.
Right.
Representing your country, you are putting on the national colors. One day, I went home. That time, we went. We have a national team.
Come on.
When I came back home, now to become newspaper for the first time.
Yeah.
You were proud, I remember.
Yes, of course.
But to you, it's like a dream come true, but for to you get to the national team. That time you find Harry Milanzi, household name that time, Kandelo Kaponje, Kenneth Mwene. Kenneth Mwene also was young like me that time.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then we have the likes of Elijah Tana. Boy, you are with these guys, what about that?
Yeah.
But you're now with them, national team, and then you're just feeling a sense of pride. But you still know that I will not play.
Yeah.
Because of these guys there in front of me, they're my seniors. So it was, I can't explain, I can't describe it. But
when they call you talking, you're going to play.
Hey,
how was the pressure?
Boy, I remember one time we were playing against Mali. Yeah, I think Mali. This might not come yet. So it looked like I was going to play. I was going to play. So on Monday, I was asking my questions. Wait, because I tell you, my boy was a super talent.
Absolutely.
It's like everything in him. That guy, you only saw him on the TV. Yeah. I saw him in training. Boy, what this guy used to do with the ball. It was genius, magical. So Monday, no show. Tuesday, no show. I remember on Wednesday, I was partnered with Lino Australia. And then we had the likes of Davis Wape also there. So the trainer, Nario no untouchable. Nario wins. So the pressure just knowing that all the fans will come at that time was something else. It was something else. I had so much pressure. And then Thursday, I just heard that Besumana Mamsang. Because when you come from outside, we have these issues, and then only you and the coaches know.
All right. So as the journey continues, I want us to take off. Philippines. So now you're now going to play in international club. How how did you get connected to get picked and then get connected to that club?
Yeah, so first of all, I was playing for the national team.
Right.
Yeah, CV.
Right.
And then I played with George at Zesco.
Right.
A good friend of mine, although his Big John, actually it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Big Zos.
Shout out Big
Got
John.
Big Zos. So,
Big Zos.
yeah, he went to Finland. He was playing. He played there before, and then they recorded him. So the time I was there, they were looking for a striker, and I happened to be the right fit. So he called me. Oh, Mwache, to me na phone.
So it was a connection through.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So whilst I was there, Filafine, Kalamia Kalira, and then also Zambia was there. So George connected me to them, to the owner, and then Zechalet is the one who made the call afterwards. So Mwache, we want you to come and try out with it, and then we see. So that's how Fiat ticket. I tell you one to me I was very sick. Had malaria. I couldn't even play the first game for the league in 2007. So they called me, and then I was there saying, I'm fit. Yeah, so I'm fit, I'm all good. And then I traveled.
Yeah, because you can't turn down this opportunity. You don't know
No.
when they. I don't know what they can import the first alone case. Come on,
Again,
guy.
I was bedridden. I went to Finland whilst finishing my that time I was taking what? Chloroquine or
Yes, chloroquine, yes.
or what, something like that. So that's how I went there. But before going, because the trials, they said were going to be for a month,
Right.
or 3 weeks to a month. But the league was going to start in April and end in October.
Right.
So my mom gave me a $200,
Right.
and she said, "See you in October."
Come on now.
Yeah,
Queen
see
Fox.
you in October, Queen Fox. So after now what I achieved. So and I ended up going. The trials were not so good. I didn't come out of the shell. It was so difficult for me to adapt. It was very cold. I can say first time to be in the snow. I'd seen snow before, but that was the first time being in the snow. And then they made me to play. The following day I arrived. They made me to play a match in the snow. And then
So you are not feeling well, and then you're still feeling jet lag, and then you are now playing in the snow. So many elements there.
Yeah. So at halftime, this coach just said, "Are you a playmaker or you're a center forward? We're looking for a center forward," because I was all over, you know. So from there, it wasn't that good. 3 weeks didn't really go well for me. And then the coaches were ready to let me go. The president of the club came and said, "I have seen something in you that I saw in ZSide 14 years ago. So I'll take a gamble. I'm going to sign you as the president of the club and impose you on the coaches." That's how it happened. I signed, I think, 2 or 3 years contract, if I'm not mistaken. I've even forgotten. The coaches said, "No,
There's no choice.
there's no choice but to start working with me." So they started working with me, especially with my left leg.
Yes.
They would wake up in the morning 5 before the other guys, just work on my left leg. I tell you, it was so cold and terrible, and I was very lazy when it came to physical training. I was very lazy. I would say back here in our language that my coach, "Iya kubutukoya makula, iya background iya kutia
Yes.
yeah." So it was so difficult for me, I tell you. But in that season, the coaches did not want to sign me. I became the joint record holder of scoring in 13 consecutive games, a goal per game, and I became the player of the season. I received good money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was so difficult to be honest. But I ended up being there, enjoyed my time.
Yeah, when you score, a back some chwa.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember? I remember coming back home. That holiday, Christmas holiday. Ndekusha kulefuna kushitiri
Because I think the time you came back, I think I was commuting to Kitwe
Yeah.
trying to start work now. When I was about to join Flavor.
Yeah, that was the time. Yeah, ndekusha yo boy, now do that muntu one. It's a first money poecha. Yeah, so that was good. And
So-
that was my.
That's how you
where
got
I
into
went there. Yeah.
Finland. So now, while you were in Finland, what was the situation with the Zambia national team and the management of your career in Zambia? What was the situation?
No, it was good. We had because when I went, I didn't know what coach in the period for the national team, but so when I went, played, I was never called, and then 2010, that's when Evrena came. I was just recovering from a very terrible knee injury, which actually. That was my second knee surgery. Yeah. So, and then he picked one boy, number one, Chanda Mwab, magnificent, Kali, left footer. No, it's very unfortunate that we can't see that now. It turned out very good. So he was picked for the game that was supposed to be played. It was played in England, where most of the players didn't have proper visas. So then there was a makeshift of the students there. So they played for the national team, and we were hammered 4-0 by Ghana. Yeah, because most of the players didn't get a visa. Chanda was one of them who couldn't get the visa. Yeah. So, we are sharing that, but every national that guys. Therefore, I had this story manager attack. The game that is there, the level is not good, but I'm shocked to see football here with my own eyes. So he was happy. So, but when I was playing there, I never came to play for the national team.
Why weren't you called?
I feel like I said, every now was told that the level is not good. And then, when you go overseas, we consider England, Spain, Italy to be there.
The top tier.
Yeah. So, but it was one of those things. But he came and saw for himself that he was happy with the level. Unfortunately, Chanda didn't play. But along the way,
How did that affect you emotionally and mentally? National, my team?
Yeah.
And they're saying,
but you're already in Europe.
Right.
Yeah, yes, we want to play for the national team, but
Infrastructure.
Charo, Lemona Snow, Lemona. It's okay. Training, they come so so didn't really
matter that
no.
much.
And then also like the club that I was playing for, they were supporting me in terms of academic. So Vaishlen Jinksha, University of Lapland. 4 years. So I look at class 3 times.
In 4 years, 3 times.
Boy,
Yeah. So everything was going well.
Yeah, everything was going well, very well. Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
the scandal
Yeah.
of match fixing came up. So now you're at the club, you're playing so well. We are proud. Zambia is proud. We're being represented. And then all of a sudden, and it was days before your birthday, you get picked up at at a training session for match fixing. Now, this is something that, we've heard about. Mariposa game to 10, obviously, Mariposa game, or whatever. We've heard such stories in football and in sports, rather generally. And then to see now, they've come and picked you up. First of all, were you involved in the match fixing scandal?
Yes.
Yes, you were.
Yes.
That's why they picked you. They didn't pick you up because it was suspicions.
No.
They picked you up because, yes, you were involved. So now, at a club where everything is going so well, they're taking good care of you, you think, everything is okay. Kanshi is match fixing. So what led you to start fixing matches? Throwing the games.
Back home,
Back home here.
Yeah. So
It started from here?
yeah.
From the local games?
Yeah.
By the time you were joining international, you had already been in the circles
Match fixing to Alisa international, but to local. Yeah,
Really?
so we went international. Yeah, so I'll give you.
Let's start with the local first and
So
then we
the
go
local, I'll tell you, the corrupting of my mind started from here. They are corrupting. You are playing for the juniors, like
Yes.
primary school.
Yes.
Olympic date. You remember that I should have volleyball.
Right.
So the junior competitions.
Yes.
You went, I think, Chingola.
Yes.
They've my grade 8. Now primary.
Yes.
Area that is cheating.
Cheating. Yes.
That is one of corrupting
Right.
someone's mind.
Right.
I went to secondary to boarding school.
Yes.
Kulia kwa kwali Malaysia Subeni kwa ifumabwanga mutevu ino.
Yeah.
Ashani that was also part of corrupting my mind. Then Wafumamulia started playing for the clubs. The clubs, Premier League clubs.
Yes.
Masanga, Lidia Shidiana and again. We guys will help us to survive. Help us to survive. That time there was betting. There was no betting,
Yes.
but they would just bring money. 14,000 kwacha that time was a lot of money. They bring
It was
you-
14 million.
Yeah. 14 million, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But they bring 14 million, help us. So you share. Then you are in a football pitch, you are fifth high, and then Mwalusa or Mafmatro, but Kamane Namkwat.
Namkwat. Yeah.
So that was at local scene. Yeah.
Local scene.
Then you go to Kubasungu. Then at Kubasungu, 2 years. 2 years prior to start fixing.
Yeah.
There was an issue of Kung Fu. You know, like the way we do with girls. Like I did with my wife.
Yeah.
3 years we live for
Revival.
So that's how it was. For 2 years, Kwadeva Bakuletera Koka $10,000, $15,000.
So when they're giving you that money, but then that fix the game was
No, for 2 years it was. We like the way you play. Hello, English sana to. Iti today no eva tupele ba coffee.
Mkango Golf.
Mkango coffee eva tupele. This is, we can't say that it's more than 100 kwacha.
Right.
Okay. But Balesa mkupela $10,000. $10,000 Zambian kwacha should be Nishinge 100 and some.
Yeah,
Patalia.
over.
Bakupela boy. Uli awishiteti. That's how. Yeah. That's how they used to do it with me. So $10,000, $15,000, go and buy coffee. Coffee. 10 pin. No Africa. What is your phone catch? 10 pin kumwesu. So they said after 2 years, I trusted these guys.
Yes.
Because they had all the right documentation, their FIFA license.
Bakutekesha palasi.
Yes, wamona. Yeah, and then kwa ya Africa number, muntu wandiye ka engagement ring. What do you say? Will you marry me? Yes or no? Yes.
How did that conversation start?
So yeah, if I remember to animal bus, in the bus, and then each moon chiresa munda. Oi, what to mafia to monati? Nika mafia. Fee mafia. we said, and that's no 10,000 euros. 10,000 euros, he bought a framework for. So you trust this guy. You trust this guy.
So he pulls you to the side alone, or he pulls the whole team to the side?
You njilandira pawandi.
Oh.
Njilandira pawandi.
Kulubalilo.
Kulubalilwandi. Iwe twara kupera 10,000. Yeah, tukupera those. But this time around, we want you. We don't want you guys to win. So when you're on the pitch, you score. We don't want you to score. And then you reach a point that there's no problem. Give me the money. Zambia. I'll go and spend this money at home, and then it's all good. So that's how I was shining the money boy. Bola 4-0 we lost.
How does it make you feel initially? Pitch now chimonenchigo. Iworengish.
What?
Hello, I am like boom, how much gondo?
You live on the money.
Now,
you are not thinking about anything. Because so that you help your team to survive relegation.
Right.
So Bible and that you train up your child in the way it should grow. So that when you grow, you shall not depart from it. So in safe haven number basaba basakufunda bakora. So even nakulaku in barende teraka money, it wasn't something like a guys. If you wrong, feel. So that's how unfortunately one after pena Kamafia Kamawasaki Katapa airport, he was using a fake ID passport. No, not passport, TMIS.
Not TMIS,
but fake ID of Mtumbi. Bamukata, Bamdeta, where we were staying, and then he says, I'm checking out, they found my links. There was a connection. We are training on the football pitch one day. My safe space, my safe environment, you just see Bakapura Mutwani. Kapukura fi bicep. You just see these guys at Pama exit, entrances, you that is. And then 2 weeks prior to that, they don't make it, the guy.
So they caught somebody.
Yes, the mafia.
And then the
one was fixing magic.
They caught him.
And then they started investigating. So like, what was it doing in the town? Because they also got a tip of that. No, this guy is this guy.
Already, and then they started.
So Mutwandi, you know where I became a prisoner before I went to jail.
Right.
Because now I knew that
he's the guy that supplies the man. So
I was checking on my shoulders every single day. When I hear bell ring, punch, because I used to stay in room 13 at the third floor. So when I hear bell, because bell, I'm from room, more apartment, then you'll be like, they've come.
They've come, they're finally here.
Yeah, so when you just see someone else who has come, then you'll be like, sure, let me breathe. But when they came now on the pitch, because I was expecting it, but not that way.
Well, maybe expecting them to come at home.
Yeah.
Not at your safe space, your place of work.
We went in the dressing room. So in the dressing room, then he says, change, because the sport gear short, and then it's cold there, so I had to put on something warm.
Right.
Then I was like, where are you taking me? Mama, we're taking you. So I asked them that, can we pass through home? I need to see my wife and kid. They no, you're home. You mean Koskikatu? It was Koskikatu. Koskikatu 12, room 13, apartment 13. So you mean you want to go there? We know you're home. We've passed through. We've seen your 60 phones on the table. We've collected them. Your laptop, we've been to your home, we've rented your home. We saw your wife and your son. Say what?
For reservations at Mukango Go View Hotel, call 0211-290-770 or 0979-727-715. You can also email res@goview-hotels.com. Visit our website on www.golfview-hotels.com. You can also find us on all social media platforms.
Then, the door. Yeah, jail.
So it's just things like you.
It was this big. When they close it, my friend,
It's closed.
it's closed. And when you've got anything, especially like me, I was just a footballer. You know, my mind wasn't a criminal mind. So when you go, yeah, so I interrogated. I spent 9 days in jail. Spent my birthday.
Your birthday. in jail.
Sadly. Last week they had to safe.
Celebrate, yeah.
Yeah. But this time around it was in jail. Yeah, so but yet I fight.
How did it affect you mentally?
You will tell them for we panic.
Yes, speak
Yeah,
to
so
that.
it really hit
So
me hard.
after they release you, what happens? Does the team disown you?
Yeah.
Then they
so-
say pack up and go.
So the team, like you're saying, disowned me. They had to terminate my contract, and then number court.
Yeah.
So, but my passport, they got my passport, so I had to be reporting at the police cell for that time. So was it every Monday or every Friday? So you go and report yourself. Oh, that's some chongesha.
No, Ponchidi.
Ponchidi, I'm around Charich. So then went to court. You have to court everything. Just I signed a number band. Today we are here.
Okay, so after everything was done and whatnot, you were banned.
For 2 years.
For 2 years you were banned. Did this is obviously a directive from FIFA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did FIFA ban? Did your team get their name tainted?
Yeah. So
Did
what
FIFA
yeah.
attack them as well?
So what
With
happened?
a fine or something?
Iwe nga warufyanya, omwana wa warufyanya besa mukolanda tu mwana wa bamutale. Yeah, that's how it was. Nchimunya mwetwa Zambia. Nchimunya mwetwa plays for Robs. Nchimunya mwetwa who played for the national team.
Yes.
So the names of the club, country, and the teams I played for, yourself, so the club wasn't. Yes, they were interrogated, but they came out clean because they terminated and they were not part of what I was doing here. So I went for here, then the reborn of me. Yeah.
So you have to case, blah blah.
Twaranda sana. Potongile turanda very soon.
How we have found ourselves here. When I was Zambia, you've been banned. You can't play for 2 years. What is going on through your mind? Are you thinking, how am I going to survive and feed my family? What am I going to do, because football is my life?
That's how I knew. From buying bread, from buying a car, to failing to buy a loaf of bread, it was so difficult. Even looking after one hour, I brought one hour, took her to Europe. And then now, I'm an embarrassment. I'm a disgrace. So my family wants, even you, we died from here before I left. So it was so bad. You know, Al Jazeera, CNN, they were showing me newspaper, it was so bad. You're going through the streets, then you're thinking, now the night issue. So it was so difficult. I didn't know how I was going to come out.
That's when you contemplated suicide.
Yeah, 40. Aisha, Karakata, come to a cantampo, no for. You try, you want no coffee, no. That time I was a cat, my friend. 9 lives. But life forever.
So 4 attempts at taking your own life. you decided, you gave up. You're like, you know what? Fine. What do you start doing? Did you continue say training with other clubs because you can't play?
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What were you doing in between?
So NAPSA took me in. Yeah, because the ban wasn't effected globally.
Okay.
So they took me in, played different 2 games. So when it was effected globally, they NAPSA, I've got them here.
Shout out to NAPSA.
Yeah, I got them here because they just said, okay, we cannot continue paying you because you're banned. Banned, but we'll keep you. They put me to a Momana Pleasure Resort. Almost a year, but then in a parody. Then they even accommodated me at a house in Chadley. And I was still getting at least an upkeep.
Yes.
They looked after me very well. That's why I thank God that eventually when I started playing, my ban was lifted. I managed to be sold to Uganda. NAPSA received some dollars, thousands of dollars.
Good.
Yeah, at least that was my repayment for them. So, and then up to now, NAPSA, they still help me in some ways. It's a team that is there.
That is right there. Okay.
So I thank Matchfix because it has redeemed me. And then it has made me to meet a lot of people. It has made me to know organized crime. I'm able to tell that this person, what is doing, where it's going, it will lead to this. I'm able to tell. And then,
because you lived through that.
I lived through that. I lived through a phase where now you color with people with pistols, guns, mulelanda, and then, but you're not even scared. And then it reached the point where if you refuse to fix a match, we're going to shoot you. We're going to see your family. We know where your family is staying. So, but look at where we are today. Me talking about this,
Yes.
it is healing to me.
To you.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
Because if I remove everything from the heart, I speak it out. I go home and I come to then I try to be a good father, a better husband, a better son-in-law, better child for Mr. Newton and his wife, my mother. So that's why I speak about all these things. But it's for the athletes, the next generation. How would you feel
Right.
what my mother went through, what you went through as my
Yes,
friend,
yes,
my friend and other relatives.
Yes.
It wasn't good and we should not wish it for other people to go through such. It's an experience that should end with me. 2 days ago, we've heard the case in Kenya. That guy, imagine every day it's what is trending. So I know how he's feeling. But I didn't fear him. So they need to investigate and the law must take its course. So, but we need to continue preaching about Mariachi. That's why it's very important for coming here, the Undiluted podcast.
Undiluted podcast.
Yeah, so we need sport. Yeah, we need. I get emotional when I'm talking about it. We need to help the next generation. We don't want a sports person who is not a better citizen.
Right.
You understand? You're a sports person, but you're a father,
Right.
you're a mother.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're a citizen of the society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, after all that, the pain, anguish, embarrassment, humiliation, all that, you soaked it in, tried to unalive yourself, to be politically correct, unalive yourself 4 times, and then that phase passes, You're now that person that stood up and said, you know what? I want to speak against this. So you travel across the world preaching against match fixing.
I met Serena Williams.
You are lying to me. You haven't.
I have a photo.
Serious?
I met Serena
I haven't
Williams.
seen that.
I met Rafael Nadal.
Are you serious?
I've met. Yeah.
So it has taken you places.
It has taken
So
me-
now, what is your position now? Who is Chimunya Abishai with?
Chimunya Abishai Mwetwa is an ambassador of IOC Believe in Sport campaign, which looks at the prevention of manipulation of competition. Yeah. That is me, the ambassador, honorable.
Honorable? Come on, man.
Yeah, so, but to be honest, I'm still Abishai Chimunya Mwetwa. Yeah, the titles, the committees I'm in, I'm still me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll always be me. I do want to say the ambassador, but the Mr. Abishai Chimunya Mwetwa, the football.
The football.
Yeah.
Football being the sport that just brought you there.
Yeah. Twananda sana.
We might as well just have some tea and bounce.
We drink some
It's been
tea.
nice. It's been nice having this conversation. Man. And this is what this podcast is about. Undiluted sports podcast. And every week we're having this conversation and talking about all sorts of sports. All of them. So we've covered football. Well, he's not the only footballer we're going to have, but we're not just going to have football. We'll have different sports disciplines.
Yeah.
We're going to have
As long
boxing.
as it is sport.
As long as it's a sport. You know, Critic and I were having this conversation laughing at one sport in particular, darts. So, if it's a sport, we'll have some professional dart throwers. And we'll find out what makes darts a sport. So yeah, man, we are here, Mkango Go View Hotel, and Undiluted Sports Podcast. This is our new home. This is the new podcast that we'll be doing, and we're just trying to find out what makes any particular sport tick, like cricket.